Kyle Rittenhouse walks scot-free after facing a lot of charges. I gotta say, I'm disappointed, but not surprised. Let's talk about it. What's good, everybody? My name's Lawrence, and this is my channel, Larry Chats. Every single Monday, I give social and political commentary, so if that's something you're into, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can see every video that I put out. If you don't know, Kyle Rittenhouse is a kid from Illinois that felt emboldened enough to take up arms and go protect people at a nearby Kenosha Black Lives Matter rally in 2020. At said rally that he went to in a state he didn't live in, he killed 3 people. As a result, he was on trial recently for self-defense, and he got off completely innocent of all charges. One of the main focal points that people that agree with Kyle, or conservatives, really point out is how this was a matter of self-defense, and how he really had no other choice because he was being attacked. And obviously if you attack somebody with a gun, they're gonna use the gun. It just makes sense. And if that were the only factor in this case, I would 150% agree. If somebody's attacking me and I have a gun, I'm going to shoot. Why do I have a gun if I'm not gonna protect myself? It just makes sense. The problem is though, Kyle Rittenhouse put himself in the situation to be there and murder these 3 people in the first place. He took up arms and went to a nearby Black Lives Matter rally in which he was strongly in opposition against before the shooting happened. He was known to be a supporter of the Blue Lives movement, and he was actually a cadet training in the police camps for his city. So what really happened that day is some idiot 17-year-old with authoritarian issues decided he was gonna take up arms and he was gonna protect people at a Black Lives Matter rally who didn't need any protecting. Because when we look at the actual Kenosha police reports, there was only 1 violent incident that resulted in 2 deaths. And those deaths were of protesters killed by officers. So if he was gonna protect anybody, especially with a gun, then he would have gone and stood on the side of Black Lives Matter. Instead, he said he was gonna protect the businesses that was outside in case a riot broke out and it got too hazy. Now, first and foremost, the line of thinking to take somebody's life when they're destroying property or stealing is asinine, and it really shows how much you just don't value that person as a human being. There were indeed protests that turned into riots in Kenosha on the sides of Black Lives Matter, absolutely. But all of these crimes that were committed in the riots were 100% victimless. Vandalism, destruction of private property, destruction of public property, theft, all victimless crimes, and all crimes that do not warrant murder or a gun to solve or even address. A 17-year-old, all yipped up on conservative rhetoric, decided to cross state lines with a loaded rifle and protect businesses that nobody asked him to protect and that nobody asked him to be in front of. Stood in front of those buildings and was undoubtedly antagonizing people that were protesting or that were rioting. Even if they were rioting, it wouldn't warrant them to be shot. Willfully going into an area where you know there's gonna be conflict and you have a loaded rifle does not speak innocent to any degree. There are hundreds of different cases of young black boys and non-violent offenses that are tried as adults that do years in federal prison. I personally have 2 friends in jail to this very day for crimes that they committed when they were 17, crimes that they committed when they were 16 years old. And obviously that same grace that was given to Kyle Rittenhouse was not given to them. This is not a new story. I've seen this 100 times. A 17-year-old boy gets full of whatever rhetoric his environment is pumping out, so much so that he ends up in a situation to where he's in over his head. And being in over his head, he might make some bad decisions, might do some stupid things that land him sitting in front of a jury. As a black man, I'm not surprised when our justice or jury system fails. I want to know what you think though. Drop down in the comments your thoughts on the Kyle Rittenhouse case and let's talk about it. Thank you for watching my video. Make sure you're here every single Monday as I drop new content right here on my channel.